Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Abhishek Upadhyay and I am a technology analyst working on Microsoft Cloud technologies from a decade. So today we will learn about Exchange Online, what actually Exchange Online is, what are the key features available in our Exchange Admin Center and how we are using it to managing our email services. So Exchange Online is a Microsoft cloud-based email solution and it's also part of Microsoft 365 suites. And unlike our on-prem servers, Exchange Online is a bit upgraded, so we don't have to manually update it and we don't have to manually push securities on that. So this is something which is taken care by Microsoft. So there are multiple key features available in our Exchange Admin Center that I'll show you in our video. And let's go. So let's access Exchange Admin Center. So this is our EAC and the very first feature is a recipient. So if you see, this is the recipient section. Under mailboxes, you manage all the user mailboxes in your organization. You can add a new shared mailbox, you can edit the existing ones, or even delete inactive accounts. So it's the go-to place for managing individual user accounts. Next we have groups. So this is where you create and manage groups like distribution list or Microsoft 365 groups. And as you know, groups are great for team communication or project specific email list. Now under resources, you will find resource mailboxes. So these are used for managing things like conference room or shared equipments, banking schedule, much easier. Lastly, in contacts, you can add external contact that your organization communicates with. This shows up in the global address list for everyone to access in the organization. Now in mail flow section, here is the mail flow section. You can control how email move through your organization. For example, you can create rules to block email from certain domains or add existing disclaimer to outgoing emails. It's also where you configure accepted domains and remote domains, ensuring your email system knows which domain to trust or which domain to block. Now let's move to the message trace. So this tool is essential for troubleshooting. If someone complains about a missing email, you can trace it here to see whether it was delivered, whether it was delayed or blocked. So it's one of the most helpful features for email administrators. Next we have roles. Under admin role, you can assign specific permission to administrators. For example, you can make someone responsible for managing mailboxes or setting up compliance policies. Now next is user role. You can manage what access your regular users have. You can apply specific policies to ensure users only have access to the tools they need. Now next is migration, and in the migration section you can move mailboxes to and from Exchange Online. For example, if your organization is transitioning from an on-prem mail server to EXO, you can use a stacked or cutover migration to bring all mailboxes to the cloud. The mobile section helps you to control how users access their mailboxes on smartphones and tablets. You can enforce policies like requiring a passcode on device or block certain devices that don't meet your security requirements. Now next is reports. So under reports, you'll find analytics about your email system. For example, you can see how much storage each mailbox is using or track email activity trends. So these reports are very much helpful for planning and monitoring performances. Now the next one is insight. So the insight section gives you a deeper visibility to your email system's performance and uses. So it's great for identifying potential issue before they become a big problem. Here in the public folder section, you can manage shared folders where teams can collaborate It's an old school feature that's still very useful for some organizations. The next feature is organization. So the organization section is where you configure settings that apply to the entire company. For example, you can set up a default email signature or manage the global address list. So finally in settings, you can toggle additional configurations that affects your entire email systems, such as service integration and global preferences. So these kind of steps we can do in settings. So that's a quick tour of our Exchange Admin Center. So if you can see, each and every section is designed in such a way that it makes our email management fluentless and easy. Now we are dive deep into some key features like managing recipients, creating shared mailbox, distribution list, and how we are managing it, how we are running a mail trace, and many more. So first of all, we will create a test mailbox from our Microsoft Admin Portal, and then we will manage that mailbox from Exchange Admin Center. So today we will learn how to create a user mailbox, how to manage a mailbox in Exchange Admin Center, how to create a shared mailbox, how to create a distribution list and how to add users in a distribution list, how to run mail trace and mail flow rules and many more. So let's start with the very first part, how to create a user mailbox. So in order to create a user, we have to log in to our Microsoft 365 admin portal. From here, we get an option to create a user. We'll go to user section. From here, we'll click on active user. And from here, you can see that we are getting an option to add a user. Click on that. Now we need to enter his first name, let's say Matthew. Last name is Hayden. Display name should be Matthew Hayden. Username is. Now here we are getting an option to automatically create a password, or we can also create a password manually. So let's create a manual password. Now I'm getting an option to check on this box. So once user will log in for the very first time, he will get an option to reset his password from there. We'll click on next. So from here we can assign license to the user. Now from this section, I want user to stay as normal user. If I want that user to give some admin privileges, I can add some admin access from here. Click on next. Now this section shows us whatever input we have feeded. So we can review those inputs from here and then we can finish it. Now if you can see, a user account has been created, that is Matthew Hayden. His mail address is matthew.hayden01@texas007 on microsoft.com. Now we will manage this user account from our Exchange Admin Center. We can open Exchange Admin Center from here. So this is our Exchange Admin Center. In mailbox section, you can see that the user that we have just created is present here. Matthew Hayden. So let's configure a mailbox for Matthew Hayden. So we will enter the password that we have set. Now you can see it is asking me to reset my password since this is the very first time I am creating it. This pop-up says to register yourself on Microsoft Authenticator app for security reasons. Let's skip this step. Now we can see the mailbox has been configured. Let's send a test email to any user. We have sent a test email from this newly created account to a user, and this email has been sent successfully. And this email has also been received successfully. Now let's see the key features from where we can manage this email account. So here in general option you can see that I am able to see all the general information or contact information for this user that I have setted while creating this user account. So here is first name, last name, display name, alias, user ID, mobile phone number, email address and all. So from here you can see that this user is having 49.5 GB data, out of which 1.7 GB has been used. From here we can reset or we can change his email address. So let's change his email address to a different address. We can add email address type from here. We can assign an email address to this user from here, and we can set this as primary email address. So once the new email address has been set, that user would be able to use a new email address. Since we have not feed anything in organization section for user, we will not be able to see any inputs here. Now we will go on delegation part for this user. So there is nobody who is having delegate access permission over this user account. We can add the permissions from here. Now we'll see mailbox section. So from here we can see the message size restriction for this mailbox, the message delivery restriction over this mailbox, mailbox policies and all. So let's say I don't want to send, or the user don't want to receive an email from any email account. He can block that email address from here. So for testing, I am blocking my email address for this user. So let's say I am blocking myself. I confirm that I want to block this sender. Save. Now, if I will send an email from my account to this user, I won't be able to send because I just blocked myself to send email to this account. So when I will try to send an email, I'll click Matthew's email address. It will say that you don't have permission to send to Matthew Hayden just because I have blocked my email account from sending email to him. Again from here I can unblock myself. Now I have unblocked myself. Now this was message delivery restriction. Now we can see email forwarding. We can also set email forwarding for this user. Let's say I want all the emails that is sent to this user should be delivered to me. I can do it from here. We will enable forward all emails sent to this mailbox, and we will set my email address as forwarding address. Now from here you can see that we are getting an option that forward to an external email address also. So we can set this one also. So from here we can enter any external email address, and whenever an email is sent to this user, that mail would be forwarded to that external email address. But for security reasons, organization don't allow this. So here we are also getting an option to deliver message to both forwarding address and mailbox. Let's leave it and save this. So if somebody would be sending an email to this user, I will get the email. Now we can disable this email forwarding from here, and we can simply save it. Now we will go on others section. So from here you can see that we can add custom attributes for this mailbox. We can set automatic replies. We can even convert this mailbox as a shared mailbox. We can add users on any group from here. We can make user under litigation hold. Let's say some user is about to leave the organization, and our policy says that if a user is about to leave the organization, you should keep them under litigation hold so that he won't be able to delete or remove any emails. We can also set the recipient limit from here. We can enable or disable a mailbox archive from here. Now let's say a user is out of office and he wants us to set out of office automatic replies. So whenever somebody is sending an email to him, that person should get an out of office email back. So from here we can set automatic replies. We will click on automatic reply. We will enable it. We will send automatic reply only during this time period. We can define the time period for this user. So let's say from 18th till 19th 5:30 a.m. So what should be the automatic reply? We can draft the mail like, hey, I am out of office today. Please reach other person. So this will send automatic reply to sender outside this organizations also. But I want this reply to be sent to all the users, and then I will save it. Now since this is saved, if I will try to send an email to Matthew, it will give me an automatic reply. So if you'll see, I have sent an email to Matthew, and I got an automatic reply from Matthew that, hey, I am out of office today, please reach out other persons. So from here we can set automatic replies. I can also convert this mailbox to shared mailbox. So if I'll click here, it says that, do you want to convert this mailbox? If I'll say yes, confirm, then it will be converted to a shared mailbox. We can also add this user to a group from here. So these are the things we can manage for this user account from here, from this section. Now let's create a shared mailbox. Here you can see we are having an option of adding a shared mailbox. So let's create a test shared mailbox. So the display name is test shared 10. Email address should be test shared 10 at my selected domain. So here we need to select our domain. Let's leave the alias as it is. Now if you'll see, we have created a shared mailbox. Our test shared 10 should now be listed here. You can see. Now from here we can add delegations for this shared mailbox. Now we'll click here under delegation, we'll edit send as, we'll give send as permission to the users from here. Let's say Abhishek, Akash, Shiv, Mark Henry, Matthew Hayden. These are the person who is having send as access for the shared mailbox. We can also give full access permissions from here to the users. From here you can add Matthew Hayden and save it. So now you can see that I have added delegates for the shared mailbox and they are listed here. Now from mailbox section we can see the same features whatever was available for that user account. Message size restriction, message delivery restrictions and all. So as you can see, we can create a shared mailbox. We can assign delegates over that shared mailbox from this section. Now we will create groups. So from groups, we can see that we are getting an option to add a group. So we can create Microsoft 365 groups from here. We can create distribution list. We can create dynamic distribution list, and we can also create mail enabled security groups. So let's create a distribution list. We'll click on distribution list. We'll click on add a group. We will choose that what group we want to create. So this is Microsoft 365 group. This is for distribution list. So click on distribution. We'll click on next. Now we will set a name for that distribution list. So let's say it is test DL 11. This is a test DL. Now we'll click on next. It's asking me to assign the owner. So let's assign owner to this group. I have assigned one owner. Now I'll click on next. Now it's asking me to assign members to this group. I'll add the members also. I have added the members for this distribution list. Now I'll click on next. It's saying that what should be the group email address. So let's say the group email address should be testdl11 at texas07 on microsoft.com. Now this box says that if I want to allow people outside my organization to send emails to this distribution group, usually organizations don't allow this due to some security reasons. Let's skip this step, or let's not allow this. Now I am keeping joining the group is open and leaving the group is open. You can choose it as you wish. So click on next. Now we will review the inputs that I have fed in order to create this distribution group. Now I'll click on create group and the test DL11 is created. We'll close it and we can see that the distribution list that we have just created is available here now. So if I'll send an email to this distribution list, that email should be forwarded to the users who are the part of this distribution group. So let's send an email to this distribution list. So click on new email. I'll send an email. So I am sending an email to the distribution list, and let's see if all the members of this DL is receiving this email or not. So since I was the member of this DL, I have received this email. Matthew was also the member of this distribution list, and Matthew has also received this email. Now by this we can create distribution list and we can manage it from here. We can add members over this distribution group from here, or we can change the owner from here. Let's go to a message trace section. So message trace is one of the key features available in our Exchange admin portal to troubleshoot issues related to mail delivery. Let's say some user is not able to receive an email sent by somebody, and let's say some user is facing issue in receiving an email. So these kind of troubleshooting can be done through message trace section. For example, I will click on message trace. I'll start a trace. So right now I will check for my account. The sender would be my account. I am keeping recipients as all, so I want to check for all the emails that I sent today. I am selecting the time zone for today. Today is 18 from 1 p.m. till 18:30. Yeah. We'll click on search. So you can see there are a list of emails that I sent today and the status of these emails. So I want to see more than that. I'll click on that email that I just sent to Matthew Hedden, and I can see that message was received, processed and delivered. The status, this message was delivered to the recipient inbox folder. So we can see that this message was delivered to the inbox folder of the recipient. We can see more information from here. We can see the message events that message has followed. So these kind of information we can find through message trace. Now let's come to the rules section. So from here we can create any rule and set that rule for any user. Let's create a rule. So click on add a rule. Now we will set the rule conditions from here. We will enter the name of the rule. Let's say it's transport rule test 01. We will add the conditions. So apply this rule if the subject or body of the email contains any specific word or specific sentence. Let it contain test transport rule. So basically, if an email sent to the user containing the subject line as test transport rule, then it will take the action whatever we will set now. We want to block the message, so we will select block the message, and we will select reject the message and include an explanation. So from here we can specify the rejection reason. So I have mentioned the rejected reason. Now there is other condition that except if, and let's ignore this condition. I want to apply this rule with all the senders. Now we will click on next. We will get an option to enforce the rule right away. We will enforce it right away. So there are many other options to select the severity. So we'll select the severity as low. We can select the time frame. So from when to when we can apply this rule, but we will disable it right now. And we will select stop processing more rules when this rule is going on. So from here we can match sender address in messages. Let's skip this part. Click on next. Now we can review that what conditions we have set from our end while creating this role. So the subject includes any of these words test transport rule will do the following. Will reject the message with the explanation that this is rejected because of testing purpose. Now we will click on finish. So it will save all the details and you can see a transport rule has been created successfully. We will now click on done. And from here we can see that the rule that we have just created is disabled. We need to enable it from here. Now we will test this rule by sending an email to a user with the subject line as is defined in this rule. So I am sending this email to Matthew Hedden with the subject test transport rule. We will send this email and now we will see that as per the rules Microsoft Outlook has reverted back that this message has been blocked. This is rejected because of testing purpose. So this is how a rule is set and it works. So these were the key features of Exchange Admin Center. I hope you found this video useful and very easy to follow. So now you should have a good foundation on Exchange Online and Exchange Admin Center. Now you know why Exchange Admin Center is useful while managing email services. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up to boost my motivation and do not forget to subscribe if you are a tech lover like me. Let's meet in our next video.